Today we are joined by Professor Arpita Mukherjee, Professor at the Indian Council for Research on International Economic Relations on Trade and Export. Professor Mukherjee, welcome to Forbes India. Thank you so much for joining us. Professor Mukherjee, so the PLI scheme has seen some clear winners in electronics, but there's been slower pickup in others. Do you expect the budget to extend PLI support for successful segments, for example, the mobile assembly segment, or do you expect it to expand it to new sectors such as deep tech, AI, or space? And do you think will the focus shift to a sector-by-sector review of underperformers this time?
Just to give you a brief background of the PLI scheme before we move into the rest of the question, PLI by the WTO is actually an actionable subsidy. So if you are exporting and you are exporting a lot and you use a PLI, you can be countervailed in the markets like the US. And therefore, and the bigger issue is that you will see that our countervailing duties, and with the US having looking into all our schemes, are much higher than the countervailing duties that are almost next to China. Look at our trade. Our trade is much lower than China, but our duties in the WTO are almost as much as China. So we need to really think whether PLI can be an export supporting scheme. It can be a scheme for companies to grow in the domestic market. Now, if you look at the users of PLI, you will see the sectors in which we are exporting a lot is not the sectors which are coming for the PLI. So, mobile phone, when it went for PLI, was not exporting. It enabled it to grow, become large, and export. So, if you look at sectors where we do not have presence or want to create presence, we can look at PLI. PLI is a manufacturing scheme. Their discipline in WTO applies to manufacturing. It does not apply to services, because you are talking about deep tech, AI space. You have to see what is the component within that. Is it a service component or a goods component? Goods component, there is a problem. Services, no problem. You can subsidize as much what you want to do, as much as you want to do. So my logic will be, given that India is focusing so much on AI and R&D, etc., the PLI, you may change the name, but you actually need to go into a scheme which is focusing on technology, AI, digitalization, adoption by companies. Because every company has to adopt them for their growth path. And that is enabling the companies to grow. So growth, modernization related schemes, schemes related to quality of workforce improvement, because that is also a part of our occupational code. Because if you are going in for more quality jobs, any which way companies are going to take, cost will increase. So you can provide them some support in the form of training, skill building for use of technology. These areas are very easy to subsidize. Most countries are subsidizing, and this should be the focus in the current budget.